Relief of Khost. Vital city of Khost was under siege by the Mujahadeen rebels in late August. Determined not to let the city fall, the Russians mounted a relief effort to force a pathway open to the city. We play as Russians again. I don't want to, although they probably will win this easily. Artillery, helicopters, things like that. It hardly matters. Yeah, they have nice artillery, lots of it. Massive amount of infantry, massive amount of infantry, a couple of anti-air machine guns, and that's it. Huge amount of stingers this time. The previous ones were not this. So our anti-air capabilities have been upgraded. Ooh, we have mortars. Smoke is probably our best ally here. So yeah, we're gonna use that mortar fire. The helicopters need to be pushed away if at all possible. Ooh, they have 72s. EMP2s. There's an auto cannon this time. Upgraded anti-tank missiles and a machine gun. That's a good a couple of machine guns and a good gun. The 72 probably has something like the upgrades basically are shown in the armor increases and in the maybe the electronics or the mechanics of using the accuracy of the gun. It's as long as the entire tank basically. Height. Length of the gun. Barrel, not pipe. It's pretty much impossible to say. Armor has massively increased, pretty much doubled. And cost is 75. BMP does the same job at the cost of 26, so you can get 3 of these for every tank you buy, and they'll take down a tank easily. I would like to shoot at the hind if I can. We are being spotted, so I don't want to fire on with this first. It is basically, it has already fired on the hind. It can fire twice more. So if we handle this correctly, I think we can drive the hind away. I don't think we can take it down. Well, we can get lucky, right? Need to think about this. Let's start with the basics. Where do we want to smoke? Wonder if the delay times are so large, even if I use the headquarters to call artillery. You know, they're probably one turn. Yeah, they will come through the first barrier very quickly. Um, and we don't have an infinite amount of smoke ammo either. So we're going to have to sort of stagger these. Range is not our friend. Range is our enemy. Engagement range. Want to force things as close as possible. Right. There will be at least a second helicopter somewhere. What we need to do is kill it before, or drive away before it becomes too big of a problem. These are very close range, so it would be nice if they don't actually react all that easily. They're much more effective if I get to use them freely on my turn. Have a decent amount of shots, they'll probably hit the target, but within range. I think I'm gonna do the same thing with the stingers. We don't particularly want to react too far away from the targets. It does us no good. We're more or less, we want to at least damage the target so it'll pull back. If it evades the missile, we're delaying it for a turn at most. That's not good enough. Zackers. SD3. Not all that advanced missile. We also have only 2 per squad, so we can more or less, we can take our shots and that'll be it. I don't want suppression fire on these if I can avoid it, so we're gonna sacrifice maybe a machine gun squad or something like that. Yeah, this will die, but someone's gotta die. Yeah, go ahead and retreat. Not sure if I should fire on the infantry. The problem is, I think we're gonna be driven out of these positions no matter what we do. The longer, well, if we put up some smoke here, that won't happen, I guess. At the same time, we sort of do want to drive the Hinds away. We could drop smoke on top of them. I mean, we are dead if we don't do something. There's just way too much attack power here. I'm hesitant to do the smoke mainly because I don't want to accidentally block the Stinger teams or other anti-tank teams. But I don't. This seems to be in a sort of a slope, so I doubt I'll block anything. I also don't think this will save my ass, but it might force them to come to me. It also blocks the infantry from easily taking me out. Might save this guy's ass too. But there isn't all that much I can do now. Only one thing we can see. There has to be more teams that can actually see something useful. Nope. I can't do all that much. Excellent. That hint is gone. It won't be destroyed, but it took a decent amount of damage. Broke down an aircraft. That's rare. Actually, I wouldn't want to shoot at them usually. Cluster bombs. First time I've seen them in so far. Right, not bad. Yeah, the bottom one will very likely just pull back. That's the beauty of if we can do something while they're still at the edge of the map. If we can pull them back even for a single turn, it's over for them. Also, they don't have a huge amount of ammunition, as we know very well, so if we can basically even get one of them away, it'll drastically reduce what it can do. Although I'm much more worried about its capability of spotting all our ambushes. That's how I used it after all. This guy's too down to do anything useful. Yeah. This squad is in a great position. Well, great might be exaggerating things a little bit. Thinking it might be better for us to pull back. Tanks can now shoot it. I don't know. We could always go with the smoke, I guess. they can take us down. It's not gonna be that easy. They'll have to basically bring something closer. That'll mean they're gonna have to put themselves in a vulnerable position. Try to suppress the forward lead tank a little bit. It's not really reacting to anything. So I'm wondering, could I have the luxury of going right next to it and trying to take it down? It is risky, so probably not. We destroyed an aircraft somewhere. Where was it? But I don't see all that much happening this time. I can't even pull these units away. So unless some kind of anti-tank unit can do something, we're pretty much done. We also cannot really rely on the Sager teams to effectively defend us. They don't have that sort of firepower. But also, even if every one of their missiles hit, there would still be vehicles left. Immobilized, that's good for us. Destroyed is naturally better, but immobilized, oh, that's good enough. There's no way we can effectively just stop them here anyway, so the plan was always to just drag things out. I'll accept another smoke attack pretty much where we're currently firing at. I suppose we can change the locations a little bit. Yeah, this is not good. We need someone closer by to be able to provide targets. We're going to try to make the life for the infantry specifically a little bit difficult. I don't think we can do more than that. We can even do that. Yeah, we can't really see any good targets to fire at. Okay, what exactly can we do? Shoot at a crew? No, no. It's a waste. Someone's still seeing one of the hinds. Yeah, if you can just bail on this, bail on this. Okay, so we can't really do all that much. We have a couple of infantry squads that might be able to do something. Have smoke too. I don't want to fire on the rifle squad, so I need to block its view. We're not doing amazingly well, but we're doing fine. Just not all that much I can do, really. Yeah, naturally the smoke clears right at the wrong time. An RPG unit is firing at the crew. You son of a bitch. They can fire like once or twice in a turn, and they used it to fire at a crew, and now the tanks are right next to them, and... Ugh. And they're dead. Yeah. You're wasting your stingers on these. Well, at least it's damage. It means we'll probably not gonna come back. Still. It's gonna be tough enough as it is, so it's sort of mortifying to see these. Well, I'd like to say the lack of common sense, but that's sort of the point. It's not really in and of itself a terrible thing. It's that in order for things to really go like you plan, it requires a significant amount of micromanaging to set ranges and things like that. And even then, it's not really you need more. Like if you're an anti-tank unit, you don't fucking shoot at the infantry squads. You don't. You can't contribute anything valuable in that. And you might be able to get in that one shot or two in a turn against a vehicle. So I wish I could just basically exclude certain target groups. At least like shoot at a vehicle at least. That's something. That's something you can work with. Well, we can't move. We can't shoot at a tank though. We're dead anyway, so we might as well fire. We won't have any smoke. Yeah, quite a lot actually. We don't have enough. We have shots in a weapon that is able to damage the vehicles. Might as well put smoke there. Miracle they have ignored this. Still, might be able to get a. I need to fire smoke. This smoke will just dissipate on their turn very likely. So the best thing we can hope for is probably that an infantry squad and BMP will basically drive into us. That's it. Hmm. Yeah, time to pull back. Mobilized. Mobilized. They can clearly see my Stinger teams, and they're putting a lot of pressure on them. Right, we wiped out one Russian infantry squad, so good for us. Stinger team escaped. They do have a helicopter somewhere, so we certainly want to keep these guys alive. No point throwing them away for nothing. This is not a particularly safe place to be, though. Ready for action. I have to say, I'm very impressed with these guys' abilities to get rid of suppression. I can't move with the Stinger teams really. We're either out of missiles or artillery is dropping on us. I'm putting a reaction range to 1 with the remaining Stingers. Don't have that many missiles, so I want to save them for Hind. It's without a doubt lurking still here. Yeah, they're taking flags, but they're also not really moving anywhere. I want to try to take these guys out. Or am I satisfied sitting here and doing nothing useful? Because if we're going to do something about them, now is actually very likely the best time to try to do it. They've just hit mines, so their morale isn't exactly high. Although it's risky too. I can get 2 squads to try to do something. I'm gonna risk C2 Gorilla Squad for this. Failed assault. I think I'll risk another. There's so few anti-tank weaponry that we have to go right next to them. At the same time, if these fail, these squads will be annihilated. Alternative would be to suppress them with just pellet the pool with the ammunition. But I don't think so. I'll go for the kills. Likely to work, but if the crew die, they're gonna attack through the road. So this is good. I'm pretty sure this other one is just, well, it's retreating, so it cannot be immobile. It would read as immobile otherwise, I think. Still, it'll pull back, allows us to take the flag again. Right, I think we should put more infantry closer to the flags. Because that's the one place where they're guaranteed to be. Also, they staying this far away from the road isn't gonna really achieve much. RPG-17 is closer to the action teams. Right. We'll get some results. I don't want to fire blindly, but I guess I will pretty much have to. I'm not sure what should I even fire. Maybe smoke. That wouldn't matter too much. And we definitely want to make this as obscure to the enemy as possible. I suppose we could do blind fire on the stretch of the road. Russian rifle squad destroyed. Man killed. Crew destroyed. EMP destroyed. Assault failed. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. At least they had the common sense to retreat immediately. Right. And the Hind is back. Only takes a single turn for it to reach the front lines. Still, a lot of their units are immobilized or just standing back for the moment. Guess they're very much aware that there is a unit here. What do we even see? Yeah, if we fire on that tank, we are dead. At the same time, doesn't exactly look great for us anyway. We don't have any more smoke, so we have to do something now. They definitely know that we're here somewhere. Retreating! Much the best thing we could hope for with this. Take a pot shot at him. Alternatively, smoke. Smoke would save our ass, and this is a fairly good conditioned squad. Holy shit, we have a target. Unlikely to hit. Sure if I want to fire. At the same time, I'm not sure we're ever gonna get good targets for us. I mean, it's a fairly slight lever where we can see something, so I think we're better off taking shots even though they're unlikely to hit. At least we get to fire on something before dying. Right, the helicopter will get into the action quickly. Not exactly a great place to be though. I'll move closer to where the other units are. Abandon the tank. Excellent. Right. No matter where we move, we are supposed. We're gonna take the chance at trying to take down this tank. We have reasonably 2 shots we could use against it. And if it reacts fires, like it will probably will, this could be our only shot we'll ever take. Yeah. I don't understand why I lost all the shots, just because it fired back at us. I managed to reduce the suppression to pretty much nothing after it, but didn't fire back anymore. Right, T-72A. Probably see to these areas at least. Ah. Right, still can't do all that much. Not sure if the smoke is going to end up being useful. It might. Immobilized! Good enough. Destroyed. This is good. This is very good. In is moving steadily. The Stinger team in a relatively good place here. And I might be able to retake the tire machine gun too. That's unlikely though because of the fire. Ah, shit. What exactly can we do? Target retreat. Yes. Not going anywhere. Couple of extra vehicles destroyed. We don't want to retake anything now. There's a new wave of vehicles coming, and I don't see any reason to believe that I could just take them on. So we're probably going to have to fall back even more. We need to get rid of the crews, though. I don't want anyone spotting here. Right, things aren't exactly great here, but the fact that we're able to cost a few tanks here and there is actually very nice, better than I expected, really. Right. Skeptical about the fact that I can't see anything. We could try to retake the gun. It's risky. At the same time, the crew has no other purpose but to try to retake the gun, so... Shit. So on the positive side, we know where they're coming from. The Stinger team will die if it doesn't get further away. Treating crew. It's a fine place to mortar them. We know that there's infantry somewhere near in this general area. So we might as well blindly fire there, hope for the best. Suppression or something. We'll create a little bit of smoke too, so right. This is very good for us. We're at the halfway point of the mission and they haven't really achieved all that much. We'll get one chance at shooting at this. 0% chance to hit at 4 hexes, so I think that's at least the stagger effect. It's just too close for the missile to lock on. The distance isn't great though, so like 1 or 2 hexes further away and it would fire just fine. I just don't. I hate the fact that I don't see the information anywhere. So it's more or less just trial and error. And it would be a single value added on top of this list, which already has a decent amount of empty space there. So, shit. Also, I'm pretty sure it can see us, so double shit. Well, in fact, triple shit, because it's gonna come here, isn't it? So I'm fairly pleased with what I'm seeing. You, please get back in the fight. The command squad for this group, so if we can get it a little bit closer, it can probably achieve great things. Also, don't go on the road again. It's a bit unsafe there. Yeah, not much we can do. At the same time, we're doing fine, really. More or less, we have little groups that can hold their own here. It's tough to be in this hex because of the fire, but we can hope for the best. There we go. I want to fire now. I'll take it as a target. Minimum range, please. Rifle squad destroyed. I'm actually thinking that their artillery, while very effective, is pretty risky to fire on that particular location. I'm more or less thinking that the click sounds are not coming from our infantry. They're coming from their own vehicles being shot at. So, while they're certainly putting pressure on me, I'm not sure if it's that kind of pressure they really want. We'll get a single shot. I think we should take it. It'll buy time for the fighting group here to not have to deal with helicopters. Final missile. And we run. That's the only thing we can do. Rifle squad destroyed. Tank destroyed. Yeah, I think this group here guaranteed our victory. They're basically buying enough time that it doesn't matter if they eventually break the room. The mortaring isn't all that effective probably, but it could suppress things again a little bit. This guy doesn't have to do anything, just has to be within 5 hexes of the other fighting force. Will provide a decent amount of rallying support. What happened to the crew here? I mean, I understand they abandoned the tank again, I mean the gun again. Did something kill them? What? They die in the fire? And that didn't happen. I still think I'll stay here with this. It's somewhat worthless of a unit, you'd think, but it does guarantee that there's nothing going to slink past us here. These are keeping an eye out on this area, so yeah. The enemy wants to get through us, it actually does have to get through us. Bad. We failed an assault. And there's no backup for that. At the same time, they're again bombarding their own. Right, they're pushing forward with such well, I wouldn't say they're exactly reckless. He's moved 2 miles per hour, so he probably was on these flags anyway. We have our commander here. The recovery should be trivial. Please, yeah, for fuck's sakes, dude, you failed. The problem is this guy won't do anything, not even retreat now. So it's pretty much dead, and there's a Russian rifle squad there too. Ah, shit. Right, so they're gonna come through there. Still, there's an immediate squad or two to react to that, so we might be able to hold the line. Should I send more infantry to move forward? Or at least take better positions? No. No. These might be worth moving forward, or closer to flags. They really serve no other purpose, and there's a Russian rifle squad in our way, which is nice. Okay, at least we're getting something to do. Yeah, I'm not. There's not gonna be any kind of major assault through here. The terrain is too tough. There might be value to having an infantry squad cover this. These will be overwhelmed even by a couple of infantry squads just walking right up to them. Yeah, now there's a lot of infantry coming our way. Tanks. Shit. Things are looking very good as far as I can say. Yeah, they're pushing forward, but more importantly, they got killed again. We have 2 shots with the RPG though. We're empty. Right. Without a doubt there's more infantry here, so I don't want to push forward. Also don't want to throw away this unit, so I'll push back a little bit. It's just a useless waste of loss of morale if I do that. Okay, we have a couple of pin squads here, which is nice. Can't exactly attack with them, but on the other hand, they're in a fairly good position to do stuff. Alright, at least we see what's going on here. Could you order a bombard? Rather retreating. Yeah, this is just fine. Only 5 turns left. I'm moving troops forward. Because I do want to maybe try to retake something. They will never have the time to capture everything anymore. Right. There's probably a mine here, that's why we can't go through it. That's bad. Holy shit, we lost at least one squad entirely. Okay, what exactly is happening here? The infantry certainly looks like it's in full retreat. Our last war missiles. That'll mean this might be a good time to actually move on to the flags. I'd like to risk units that are, well, more or less worthless. So we're not risking anything on the defense front. Empty RPG 7 teams, the Stinger team out of ammo, those sort of things. Yeah, not seeing a reason to alter the bombardment locations. The bombardment is deadly. So, I'm giving a little bit of depth to our defense here. With any luck, I won't be able to do anything anymore. Yeah, it's pretty much a full route, although the BMP is coming back. Abandoned tank, nice. Not sure if I want to go into these hexes really. They're just filled with burning tanks. At the same time, if I want to maintain control of them, I think I more or less have to. Yeah, the smoke is taxing for us too, so this isn't without its risks. I still think we're pretty much guaranteed to at least maintain pinned condition on the infantry, so they won't run away. It's just gonna be tough trying to make any kind of real advances with them. Also, I'm not so sure we want the bombardment anymore. Russia 65, Mujahadeen 1253. Yeah, terrible for them. We lost more or less an equal amount of men, while they lost 5 APCs, 7 tanks, and aircraft. I suppose a mission like this highlights one thing. Even though the Mujahadeen have reduced ammunition counts, I think, like they have like 2 missiles and an anti-tank team, it doesn't really make much of a difference. The life expectancy of such a team isn't all that long, so usually you can maybe fire a few times and then you can slink away. Same with the Stinger teams. What you really want, more or less, in the small teams is that they can take panic well. So if someone fires on them, their usefulness drops drastically. So you need a lot of decoys. So good old-fashioned infantry squad with short-range, good anti-tank weapon is still incredibly useful because you can always bottleneck things somewhere. At the same time, if they don't have flags in those bottleneck locations, it's really hard to force the enemy to come through certain kind of a small point. Also, like with the artillery, if we would have piled up a huge amount of infantry in a single location, unlucky artillery fire round would have basically crumbled the entire defense. And the Russians here had that type of artillery easily. Entire squads of our men were wiped out when they were in the open for a single turn. So it's bottlenecking works, but only if the enemy allows it to work. There are ways to get rid of it. Artillery is probably the best one. Your own infantry on top of that, and it's really hard to defend against. Yeah, it'll work like against two infantry squads maybe. If it has any kind of if you're defending it has any kind of real suppression, probably against one infantry squad, then the rest will just walk all over you. So I feel it works because I'm the AI sort of is my opponent here. A human opponent would be smart enough to at least pile up their forces, so even though they might sacrifice some, they would know that they would have sufficient troops and artillery to push through. Suppress with the artillery, then move quickly with the follow-up troops. And a handful of infantry squads, no matter how well placed, can't possibly hold their location.